Today I'm making a chicken enchilada cornbread casserole, or you may know this as tamale pie. Either way, it's going to be good. So to start, I'm going to season 6 bone-in skin-on chicken thighs. This is around 3.5 pounds of chicken thighs. I'm using seasoned salt, and I'm not even measuring. Season your chicken how you like. Here I'm adding some smoked paprika. I'm also going to be adding some onion powder, cracked black pepper, and garlic powder. And I will be doing this to the backside of the chicken. You could also use rotisserie chicken. You know those 2-pound rotisserie chickens that you can pick up from the grocery store? Ultimately, you will need around 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of shredded chicken. So onto my baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm baking this in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 to 50 minutes or until the chicken is done. So while the chicken is baking, I'm going to enjoy an iced coffee. My morning started around 5 a.m. It's around 3-ish right now, and I am feeling gassed out. I need something to pick me up here. By the way, I have a ground beef version of tamale pie that's just as good as this one. I will link it in the description below. Okay, so my chicken is done. I'm going to carefully remove it from the oven and place it on my stovetop just to let it cool. By the way, take a look at this skin. It is perfectly crispy. And my husband likes to chop up the crispy skin and mix it with steamed rice. So he's going to love this. So once it is completely cooled, my husband here is helping me out. You'll remove the skin and just start removing all of the chicken from the bones and just debone everything. Once you've removed all the chicken from the bones, just shred it. You could also chop the chicken. Like I stated earlier, you'll want at least 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken. Here is a blend of spices. This is going to season my enchilada sauce. 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon powder, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, a little bit of black pepper, and I'm ready to start this roux. In a pan, I'm adding 1/4 cup of cooking oil, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and that spice mix that I made earlier going in. I'm just going to combine, mix, create a roux, and this is over a medium heat, by the way, nothing on high. And once it's combined and starts to bubble slightly, I'm going to add 2 cups of water little by little. This is going to create the enchilada sauce / enchilada gravy. And be sure once it's done, after you completely add all of the water, to give it a taste for salt or seasoning and adjust to your preference. So I'm just going to add all of my shredded chicken, turn off the heat, and once the chicken is added, I'm going to combine well, and you're just going to let it set until you're ready to use it, and that's it. By the way, I did season the chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper after I shredded it because a lot of the seasoning was removed with the skin, so be sure to do that. Now for the cornbread mixture. Here I have 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Give that a mix, and that is the dry ingredients for this. Now I'm going to mix the wet ingredients. To 1 1/4 cups of milk, I'm adding 1 large egg, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. You could use butter if you like. Now just give that a mix and combine well, and that's the wet ingredients. To my dry ingredients, I'm going to add 2 to 3 ounces of shredded pepper jack cheese. Use the cheese of your choice. Now I'm going to add the wet to the dry, mix and combine well. Now it's time to put this together. Here I'm working with an 8 by 12 baking dish. This is a 2.7 quart baking dish. I've already buttered it with about 1 tablespoon of butter. Now I'm going to add half of this cornbread mixture to the bottom to create a single layer. And once I pour it in, just spread it out evenly. Now I'm going to add the enchilada sauce chicken mixture. And I sort of spoon it in, and whatever is left in the pan, I sort of add it carefully and just spread it out into a single layer. And now for the cheese. I decided to go with pepper jack cheese today, but really it's up to you. In all, for this recipe, I'm using a little over 8 ounces of cheese. The amount of cheese is really up to you. It depends how cheesy you want it. But each slice is 1 ounce. I've used 6 ounces. Now for the rest of this cornbread going on top, I'm going to just smooth it out and create the last layer. And this is going to bake uncovered at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 23 to 25 minutes, or until it's done, just like this. Once it's done, I'm going to remove from the oven, and you'll want to let it set, if you can help it, for at least 15 minutes. I sort of let it set for 10 minutes and cut into it. Now, once you serve your slices, you can garnish with any type of topping and garnish you prefer. I typically go for sour cream and fresh chives or scallions, and enjoy. Be sure to check the description for my ground beef tamale pie or enchilada cornbread casserole. It's great as well. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching!